Might as well get this measured out now, brothers. Okay, it's basically the whole container. Yeah, it's all going in. Right. Didn't have to do that. Okay, so. Right. Am I on video?
Yeah.
You got video on this thing?
Yeah.
And your camera?
Mm-hmm.
I'm making homemade Swedish meatballs for the first time in my life. Ran into a little hiccup early on. It was the pan, it wasn't the meatballs, it wasn't the meat mixture that I created for the Swedish meatballs. However, chemistry is everything. If the recipe calls for ground beef, you should probably kind of stick to that, since these people have been cooking Swedish meatballs for hundreds of years. I've never cooked it before. I, as you have gotten to know, make my meatballs and my burgers and my meatloaf, etc. Any kind of meatloaf mix, Salisbury steak. I know you all been reading the blog, so you know what I'm talking about. I incorporate meats, ground beef, ground chuck, ground veal when necessary. I'm making Swedish meatballs. I did ground beef and ground pork. Okay, I didn't call for ground pork. Ground pork will soften your meat. It called for 1 egg. I added 2 eggs. That's because I had more meat than the recipe called for. So now you got a wet mixture. So I added more breadcrumb and milk mixture to it to tighten it up. Didn't quite work because I didn't have the right pan. These things will happen. Occasionally you'll have little hiccups here and there in the kitchen. You fix them. You kind of work your way around it. I have some beautiful looking Swedish meatballs. Most Swedish meatballs are about yay big. Of course, I don't know how to make meatballs that small. So mine are more like that big. Sorry. And they're warming in the oven until I make the gravy, which I'm about to do now. Are you sticking with me during this? Alright. You probably have to edit the video a little bit.
We don't edit here at Mugs to Meatballs, honey. We don't edit. Nothing gets edited.
Alright, who goes the
It's
butter?
real life.
Okay, well.
Real life, honey.
If I had known that, I would have had the oven preheated. I apologize. So now we're going to have to sit here and wait for the butter to melt. What I'm doing is I'm going to melt the butter, I'm going to add the flour, and making what's called a roux. All of you are extremely educated. I've read your blogs, I've read your posts. I see that most of you can teach me how to cook. Anyways, so you know what a roux is. So I'm going to make a roux. I'm going to add some heated up beef broth to it. Swedish meatballs. Nice cream sauce. It's a nice cream sauce. So once I get the butter and the flour thickened, I'm going to add the beef broth, bring it to a slow boil, right? Not even a boil, just it's going to bubble.
Right.
I want it to bubble. Then I'm going to add in heavy cream, Worcestershire sauce, Dijon mustard, and here's the kicker. Here's my trick. I'm going to put in horseradish sauce. I mean, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but beef broth, cream, Worcestershire sauce, Dijon mustard, horseradish sauce. If I said that already, I apologize. But you incorporate all that. I'm going to throw my meatballs in and take a bath for about 15 minutes while I make my egg noodles. Perfect.